All right, so today I want to talk about the natural evolution of a flipper, and this is something that I've been kind of thinking quite a bit about lately because I come across a lot of people who are anywhere from the phase of I want to flip houses to, you know, I'm doing it consistently. How do I step up my game, or what's the next level for me? So if you think about that process, you know, really it starts with someone who wants to flip houses. And why do people want to get into flipping? Well, the primary reason is because you make a lot of money, hopefully, quickly. So it's the strategy where you're, you know, getting in and out of deals in under a year. It could be wholesaling, fix and flip, new construction, whatever the strategy is. If the goal is to get in and get out of the deal as quickly as possible, that's flipping. And people do that for, you know, making money now. It's a short-term strategy. It's not a long-term strategy like rentals or other things. But a lot of people are very attracted to that. I'm attracted to that. That's why I got into real estate, was to make more money now, right? So what happens is, most investors, they start out and they play it safe. They start out with wholesaling. Wholesaling is simply where you're just flipping your contract. There's very little risk. You're not renovating or doing any work on the property. And so the idea is you get in, you get a great deal under contract, assign your contract to another investor, and on average make $3,000 to $10,000 per deal, which is pretty good money. But it's what I would call a small deal. And then from there, what happens is, you know, kind of phase two is most wholesalers then get into rehabbing. And the idea is, you know, why should I pass the deal off to a rehabber or a flipper, a fix and flipper? I'm just going to keep the deal. I'm going to fix it up and sell it myself. And, you know, on average, those deals, most investors, they start out with kind of starter home or first time buyer deals, and they make anywhere from 15, maybe up to 25,000 on those deals, which is significantly more, but it's also significantly more work than wholesaling, right? Or what some investors do is they just do more wholesaling. So they start out with small deals and they do more small deals, or they'll transition into rehabbing, which is kind of a new level. You got to learn how to manage contractors, and capital's involved now and all of that. And then from there, most investors, or not most investors, actually very few investors will go to the next level, which is doing lots of those rehabs, so more of it, or transitioning into bigger deals. Bigger deals meaning high-end properties. So you know, the market's in the 300 to 600,000 or up, or new construction into the higher-end developments, where you're now making 75, maybe 100,000 on one deal. Those are what I call home run deals. You know, a lot of investors never get to that point. They never evolve into doing big deals. For some reason, they stay with small deals, or they go high volume small deals, but they don't transition. And I want you to reconsider that thought process and your goals as a flipper. It does require, you know, getting out of your comfort zone. It does require more capital. You know, you're doing bigger deals. But here's what I want you to think about. You know, and I've talked a lot about this, doing big deals versus small deals. If you think about a starter home rehab, and let's say your goal is to make $25,000, and it's like a $200,000 home. You know, that's what you'll sell it for. And after you fix it up and sell it and pay all the costs and everything, your goal is to net $25,000. And you've got to go in there and you've got to update the kitchen, you got to redo the bathroom and put new tile in and paint and new furnace and all of these things, windows and maybe a roof and so on and so on. And you're going to spend $25,000, $30,000 on this house to update it, get it really nice and new with granite and everything, and then sell it for $200,000, net $25,000. Great deal, right? Well, here's what I want you to consider. If you did the same process of rehabbing a house, but let's say that it's a $600,000 home. You're going to sell it for $600,000, and now your net is $75,000 or maybe even $100,000. Here's what I want to propose to you. It's the same amount of work. It's the same amount of work to rehab a $200,000 house as it is a $600,000 house. You still have to manage contractors. You're still doing painting. You're still updating the kitchen. Yeah, you're spending a little more because you're doing nicer finishes, but it's the same work and process to manage that deal, both deals. So, but the difference is one deal you make 25, the other deal you make 100. 3 to 4 times as much for the same effort and work, okay? Now, I don't think it takes rocket science to know that that makes a lot of sense. So I actually went through a transition in my real estate investing career where I went from doing lots of little deals to scaling way back and doing fewer and fewer bigger deals, and actually made more money doing fewer deals because I had bigger margins. Less volume, bigger margins is the goal. And as you evolve as a flipper, whatever stage you're in, I want you to think really big. I want you to think down the road 10 years. And I want you to say, I'm gonna get to the point where I'm doing big deals. And maybe you'll even skip that process. It took me a long time, 10 years, to get through that process of doing bigger deals. Looking back now, I think I probably would have skipped and gone that way, gone into bigger deals much sooner than I did. But I'm like everybody, and I did, a really slow progression that way. My point though here with all of this is, don't look at your flipping business, getting into real estate investing as a flipper, as just, I want to do a $5,000 wholesale deal, or I want to do a $25,000 rehab deal. Think bigger. There's a really strong market in the higher development, the luxury type homes. I'm not talking super luxury, ultra luxury, the over $1 million, but really in most markets like the under $1 million, even down to 500 to the 800, anywhere in there. Those are great markets to flip in, and the margins are awesome, and the work is the same. Okay, so that's what I propose to you. Create that vision, have that goal, think outside of where you're currently at, grow your mindset, and then develop into that belief that you can do big deals. And this is Jerry Norton. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.